Visitors to Elk Falls Provincial Park are being greeted with new warning signs, following the tragic death of a Dutch tourist earlier this week. The man was killed when he went over the falls on Monday. New signs have now been posted at the park, which warn visitors in language that they can understand about the slippery rocks and the dangerous rushing waters. But some say these signs come too little too late, 5 years too late. A Nanaimo man died the same way in 2006, leading many to wonder if this week's death might have been prevented. A News reporter Gord Kurbis has the story.
It's a popular spot that has been the setting for 2 accidental deaths within the past 5 years. The latest occurred on Monday when a 42-year-old Dutch tourist fell over the falls while taking photographs.
Unfortunately, they slipped and fell in, and as you can see with the water behind me, the chances of self-recovery are pretty limited once you hit that fast-moving water.
Glenn Cornby is one of 5 managers with Campbell River Search and Rescue. He participated in the recovery of the bodies of both men. He says, unfortunately, human nature is why people ignore the obvious dangers.
You don't have to stand here and watch the public for very long, and you'll see people go from wandering around on the rocks that are perfectly safe to approaching the water, and they get a little bit too close.
Even today, a steady stream of visitors were posing for photographs and taking in the natural beauty, but doing it too close for Cornby's comfort.
The water splashes up on those rocks, makes them slippery, and by the time you slip, it's too late. You're in the fast-moving water, and that's it.
And they're still doing it even after passing by several new signs warning against getting too close. BC's regional coroner was today congratulating BC Parks for posting them, but these signs went up only within the past day or so. The coroner's office recommended more signage 5 years ago, following the death of a Nanaimo man who went over the falls while trying to collect some water.
Well, it's certainly very similar, and that was one of the things we talked about initially when it happened. We wanted to find out what was the case before, what are the circumstances around that, what recommendations were made.
The regional coroner's office will be looking into which of its recommendations were followed, but points out those recommendations are never binding.
The expectation is that from our agency, that the receiving agency take those seriously. They're not legally binding. We can't bind an agency to follow the recommendations, but we hope in the spirit of collaboration that they do.
But even with more signage, Glenn Cornby fears his search and rescue crews will likely be attending here again. At Elk Falls, Gord Kurbis, A News.